All right, let's go over and talk about the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Divisional battle here between two surprisingly good teams. We saw last year the Cleveland Browns were the Cleveland Browns, and the Pittsburgh Steelers obviously lost Ben Roethlisberger in week 2, had a pretty piss-poor season with Kyle Rudolph and Devlin Hodges playing. So Big Ben looks to be fully recovered from the surgery that he had. He's been balling out. The Steelers' offense has been phenomenal. Their defense has been good, but it hasn't been lights out like we were expecting it to be. So there's been a lot of fantasy points to be scored, especially through the air against the Steelers. The Steelers are currently allowing the 4th most fantasy points to opposing receivers. They've been great at slowing down the run. With the exception of that 70-yard carry from Miles Sanders on Sunday, the Steelers have been one of the best defenses against the run and have been very good at slowing down tight ends and quarterbacks as well. Whereas the Browns also have been pretty good at slowing down the run, but pretty bad elsewhere. They're giving up the 9th most points to quarterbacks, the 2nd most points to wide receivers, and the 6th most points to tight ends. Vegas expects this one to be a decently high-scored game, 51 over-under. Steelers favored to win this one by 3.5. I'm pretty excited about this game. I think this should be a competitive battle. This is in Pittsburgh. We'll see if Baker Mayfield is for real playing against a team that they're going to have to learn to beat if the Browns want to have a legitimate shot at actually doing anything this year. So this will be a very telling game. On the Browns side, we're going to keep starting Kareem Hunt. I know it's a bad matchup, but Kareem Hunt is involved enough in the passing game that he should be able to get enough work there. Hopefully he can sneak a touchdown in or two for you, but he's so involved in the passing game near the red zone. You're not benching Kareem Hunt for anything at this point, even in a bad matchup. Odell Beckham has been really good. He's looked like Odell Beckham again, which is fantastic. And then Jarvis Landry should be a good start here as well. As we mentioned, the Steelers are allowing a lot of points to receivers. Austin Hooper, a little less excited about him just based on the Steelers' propensity to slow the tight end down. We saw Zach Ertz completely dud out last week. I'm not that excited to start anyone other than the 3 guys between Hunt, Beckham, and Landry. Baker Mayfield at this point just remains an emergency start, even in matchups where it's been a good start. Their run game is so powerful that Baker Mayfield's ceiling is really low, and then playing against a team that could completely rattle him if they're able to get a few sacks with TJ Watt, it could end up being a rough day for Baker. On the Steelers side, I know it seems a little bit precarious, but I'm starting everyone that's healthy. I should put an asterisk for Diontae Johnson because I guess at this point it's still in question whether or not he's going to be able to go this week. He exited early last week against the Eagles with a back injury. Latest reports are that it's not serious and that Mike Tomlin does think that Diontae Johnson will play this Sunday, but monitor that injury report. We're starting Big Ben. He's been phenomenal up to this point. The Browns defense has not been that great against quarterbacks. James Conner, you're pretty much forced to start until he's, as long as he's healthy. I think you can start all 3 of the receivers here. I know Claypool had that massive game last week. We're not expecting anything remotely close to that. If you are, then you're just doing it wrong. Juju was still more involved in terms of routes run, but we'll see how defenses will actually play into seeing now that this team has three legit alpha receivers. One of these guys will probably disappoint you, but I think at this point you have to start all of them until we start getting more clarity on the touch distribution here. I think in a game like this, though, against the Browns, where there should be a lot of points scored, especially through the air, each one of them remains a decent start. Eric Ebron also a decent start in the gross tight end landscape. Got enough targets last week to definitely continue to start him until he plays a rough matchup. I think the Steelers' defense should be able to make Baker Mayfield's day a little bit hectic, so I think they're a good start as well. Lots of Steelers to start here. Basically, you're starting all of your main guys. We're not starting Benny Snell until James Conner misses time. I have the Steelers winning this one. Obviously, based on my starts, that should be pretty easy. I do think the Browns can stay competitive between Landry, Odell, and Kareem Hunt. I think they'll put up enough points to make this a game, but I think the Steelers win in the end, 34-28.